All right, Kelly and Nala, thank you guys so much for joining me. There she is. I see her sleeping by the door. That is adorable. We're gonna give everybody a couple of minutes to hop on here, but I'll show you Miss Piper too. I told Piper we were going live today, and she wasn't very impressed. So there she is. Hi, Piper. I think she'd rather be playing with her toy or outside chasing the squirrels. Kelly, how you doing?
All right, yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm super excited to go
And
live
Niall's
with
over there
you
chilling.
today. There's Nala, she's chilling by the door. You said that she always lays down by the door, right?
Correct. No matter where we're at, it can even be a business. If I'm near the door, she wants to be near it. It's a way. It's a protective mechanism. So if she'll perceive anybody initially as a threat, I don't know how to explain that even better, but she'll just like, hey, I'm watching this guy, so don't get near him unless he tells you to get near him.
She's just amazing. I love watching your guys' videos. So, welcome everybody. Today we are celebrating Pet Wellness Month. So, the entire month of October is Pet Wellness Month. And my favorite topic to do with pet wellness is pet enrichment. So, I thought it would be awesome to invite Kelly and his service dog, Nala, to join us for a quick live chat to talk about pet enrichment and pet wellness. And if you don't know them or follow them already, they are on pretty much all the social channels as Dog and His Boomer. So you can check them out. We've got their handle in the description. Oh, I see Nala's getting up. Hi, baby. She's going to come check on you. Oh, what a good
Hearing
girl.
you say her name too.
So thank you so much for joining us. First of all, so Nala is a service dog, correct?
Correct. Now is a seizure alert service dog Pacific.
Okay. Okay, yeah. And I mean, amazing how they are just so intuitive and so well trained to do the jobs that they do. Anybody who follows you can see the amazing videos that you share of Nala not only just being a normal dog, going about her day, but also working. You share incredible videos of Nala at work, and I think those are just fascinating to watch. On our topic today, pet enrichment and why does it matter, and how anybody watching can start to add pet enrichment to their lives. Tell us maybe a little bit about Nala and what she likes to do when she's not working, because right, is a service dog always working 24/7, or tell us about that.
Well, Nala knows that she's in working mode when the best is on. Okay. When the best is off, we give her command free time that allows her not to focus on me and more on herself. Enrichment is really key to a working dog, because if you constantly just working the dog and not giving them the enrichment, you can actually burn the dog out. So, say 12 hours during the day, 8 hours of the dog, of her just being outside, walking the trails, playing fetch, running the Swift Paws course, because it stimulates her not only mentally but physically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so, and if I ignore her, if I forget the enrichment part of the day, she'll let me know. She'll bring a ball. She'll go to the door. She'll remind me, hey, get off the chair, get off the internet, take me outside, and provide what I need to be stimulated physically and emotionally.
Oh, that's great. And I mean, I think it is really important, right? I mean, people like we as humans, we couldn't work 24/7, and we can't expect that of our canine companions as well. Whether or not your dog is a service dog, a working dog, or just a companion and a pet, they all need mental and physical enrichment. So on the topic of enrichment, you said maybe she'll grab a ball. What are Nala's favorite things to do when it comes to playtime and enrichment?
Nala loves to play ball. She loves to fetch. We live on 65 acres, and if I had a device to throw a ball 100 yards out, she would go get it.
Amazing.
Nala is definitely ball driven. So that, and playing with our other dog, that's what she does 90% of the time when she's not working.
Yep. And it's amazing that they will choose too. So they'll tell you if they want to go outside and run around, or if they'll bring you the ball. And I think that it's important that us as pet owners, that we listen to them. If they are, excited to go and do something, find time to take out of your busy schedule and do something with them as well. And I know earlier you mentioned that Nala has Swift Paws as well. I love the fact that she enjoys chasing, and we are going to be doing a giveaway to celebrate Pet Wellness Month. So later on, we'll talk about the giveaway and how everybody can have plenty of chances to enter. But back to the topic of her needing to get that little bit of mental and physical enrichment every single day. Of course, with her being a working service dog, work is quite serious for her. Can you tell us a little bit about like a working day for Nala? What does a day in Nala's life look like?
Well, I'm a little bit different from most people because I'm actually retired. But when we go to work, if I'm going from here to say Walmart and the vest is on, she knows she's trained for a smell from when I'm about to have a seizure. So she's constantly eye focused on me. If she can't see me, she stresses. Or one of her ways of that alerts, and you might see it during this live stream, she'll come up and start pawing me. If I ignore her, she'll start to whine. And if I continue to ignore that, she'll start barking and get my attention. So she's always at my side. She's no more than 6 to 10 feet away. But you can tell that she knows that she's working. If you see any of the videos of social media, when she's working, when somebody tries to come up and pet her that she's not aware of, she'll turn away. She's focused on doing her job. Now, if I give her a command called free time, that allows her to be distracted and allows, say, you to come up and pet her. But if I don't give her that command, she will totally ignore you. And so she's very driven and she wants to do her job, but she also wants to be rewarded. So at the end of the day, when I take that vest off and she knows she's not working, she wants to play. And boy, does she want to play. If I don't, like I have a box of balls in the living room. If I don't put that box of balls up, she'll sit there and play with them 24 hours a day.
Yeah. And it's important that dogs have the ability to get out that energy, right? Every single day. And you said something interesting too. You said, if somebody comes up to her while she's working and they approach her and try to pet, she'll sort of ignore them. That leads me to the question of what is the appropriate way to handle or interact with a handler and their service dog if you see one out in public? For anybody watching, what do you?
The best way, and I've been trying to advocate, and I get a lot of resentment from the service dog community because a lot of people preach, don't pet, don't distract, don't stare, and that's totally wrong. The correct way to approach a service dog handler is to talk to the handler first and don't try to approach the dog. Focus on the handler, because then if the dog is trained properly, the handler is going to tell the dog to hey, you have free time, you can be distracted and not be focused. Because if you ever seen a police canine, the police canines are very focused on its handler. Do not want, until they are told otherwise, so they don't want to be distracted. Same thing with the service dog. You got to kind of look at a service dog as a canine. They have to be given a command to be distracted. If you distract the dog without the handler's permission, it causes an issue. So for me, as long as you ask me first and approach me correctly, then I'll allow it. Having said that, I have kids all the time who come up to the dog and pull on the ears. I never correct kids until after the fact, when I say, hey, next time when you want to approach the dog, ask me, don't come up to the dog. Because some dogs are not certified dogs out there. There are pets out there that are biting people, right? You just ask the handler first.
Yeah, and I think that sort of education is super important. There's an etiquette, right? Whether it's a service dog, a working dog, or just somebody who has their pet with them, especially for children. I think parents should teach children that, hey, you should always ask the owner, the handler, if it's okay to pet their dog. And I see a lot of that. We do a lot of events with Swift Paws where we're out and we're in the public. And I'm so impressed by the number of parents and children who know the appropriate ways. But I think for anybody who isn't sure, it's good to have the conversation, right? Like, go ask. The worst thing that's going to happen is the handler says, I'm sorry, they're working right now. But thank you for asking, right?
Well, I use it. For me, like I said, specifically kids. I never correct kids in public till after the fact, because I'm trying to create a positive experience with the service dogs. But you are correct. There's a lot of people that don't ask whether it's service dog or not, and that contributes to the 4.5 million dog bites a year. Takeaway is ask before you pet any dog that you're not familiar with.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great takeaway. And back to enrichment and pet wellness for a minute. So you said you have a second dog as well, and that Nala and your other dog really enjoy playing together. What else do they like to do? What else do you do for enrichment? Do you go on walks? Do they enjoy going and sniffing around the property?
With the advantage of living on 65 acres, we have plenty of property for which to walk. We have our own kind of nature trail. We have a pond. Milo is a little Chihuahua. He gets tired out. He can only walk so far before he gets out. But Nala, if I could let her loose on the property, she'd be gone all day and come back. But we're constantly, we're probably, given weather permitted, we're probably outside 6 hours out of the day on and off. That's one of the reasons why I chose to live out here, is because I'm away from everybody else, but I have plenty of things to do and be active.
Yeah.
Especially like I said, Nala's being lazy right now, right? But if I say, let's go, Nala, you ready to go? You want to work?
Look at her, one ear up, one ear.
Yeah. What? She's willing. I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue tied. She loves to work, but if she had to choose between work and play, she'll play.
Oh yeah. I mean, to be fair, how old is Nala?
Nala's 2.5 years old.
So 2.5-year-old German Shepherd, that's a very energetic breed anyway. They are a working breed. They were born to do something nearly every hour of every day. Same thing with Piper, Piper's in a similar position to Nala. She's just, her head is hanging off the edge of the bed. But if I grabbed Piper's leash right now, she would be up at that door ready to go out.
Same thing. If I got up from now, she would get up.
Yep. And I think that's another thing, dogs, they want to be with us and next to us, and just every minute of every day, they want to be doing what we're doing. And so whether you're out on a walk, or whether you are going to take the ball and throw it in the backyard for a few minutes, or if you're going to set up Swift Paws and let them enjoy having a 90-second run with that toy, there's always something that you can fit into even a busy day to give your dog just a little bit of enrichment. A couple of other things. So I love the topic of enrichment. I love the topic of what can I do to add into my dog's day or week to give them a better life. And that can be any of the senses, right? Dogs have senses just like we do. A visual game would be Swift Paws or chasing the tennis ball. A scent, a nose game would be something like a snuffle mat, where you sort of hide treats in sort of a mat, and they have to sort of nose around and find the treats out of that mat. So there are very different sensory games and types of enrichment that you can do at home. You don't have, I mean, it's amazing that you have so much land, but you don't necessarily have to have access to or be able to afford these huge experiences. You can do pet enrichment even on a really low budget, and even just using your imagination. So any way that you get your dog thinking or sniffing or engaged in some way to figure out a puzzle or play is enrichment.
I've kind of combined the sense and the play with Swift Paws. When on the flag, I spray this duck gravy, if you will, on the flag. And so now, instead of just for visual, she's also sensing this, smelling it, and she'll tend to play longer on the Swift Paws than if it was just the flag by itself. So that's, I'm sure other people do the same thing, but so she's getting sensory and enrichment at the same time.
Yeah, that's amazing. I don't think I know people have said like, oh, I should put a treat in there. I don't think anybody's ever scented it before, and I may have to try that. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's I forgot what the brand's called, but it's basically like a duck gravy oil that goes on the dog food, but I just spray it on the flag, and she'll play longer with the Swift Paws versus getting tired out.
Oh my gosh, that's great. That's great. And I mean, again, back to the fact that I mean, I think it's amazing that you share so many videos of you and Nala and Nala playing and Nala working. I think all of your fans can see that Nala is absolutely living her best life. My favorite videos are when she's just, goofing off, having a good time.
Mhm.
But I think her working videos are absolutely fascinating too. And the way that you educate is just incredible. Now, you said too that you don't do every kind of enrichment every day. Can you tell me about that a little bit?
Yeah, I changed it up because it's with anything. If you do a pattern consistently, you're going to get bored of it. So
Yeah.
today, I might be throwing the ball consistently where she runs back and forth 200 yards at a time. The next day, I might be walking around the property. By Saturday, I'll be setting up the Swift Paws course, and she'll be running around. And I changed the design. That's the beauty of the Swift Paws is it doesn't have to be the same layout. You can change it as long, short, any figure that you want in the sense that you can set up the course. And that's what I do. I never set the same pattern, and I never set it in the same place. It might be in this part of the yard, it might be in that part of the yard, but when she runs that course, you can see it in the videos. She really loves it. And then when the battery dies, she gets mad.
She's upset.
She knows playtime is over.
Oh,
After 20 minutes of play, which is more than enough on Swift Paws, she gets mad. You see it in the video. She gets mad. She'll sit there and bark at it when it's still chasing. So,
Piper will do this
every day I'm changing up the routine. Some part of her routine is just to give her enrichment with other people is I'll go to the mall or go to the Walmart and just walk around. Now, a lot of people think I'm just trying to get content. That's not the case because 90% of the videos that I post are Nala just being a dog and not her working. You understand?
Yep.
But so the enrichment can be all form of activities from play outside, Swift Paws to her playing with just her stuffed animals, playing tug of war with her that way. So there's various ways that you can do the enrichment.
Yeah, and I love that.
And the same thing with the duck oil. I'll put it on her object on like a stuffed Toria ball and hide it in the house, and she'll go find it. So that's also enrichment as well.
Yeah, hide and seek is a great game. I know people who will take like a Kong and they'll stuff it with treats and they'll hide that. And then when the dog finds it, it's a reward. And that, I mean, I love that you're doing so many different kinds of enrichment. And, Piper's kind of the same way. If she's playing with Swift Paws, she's not going to stop herself. I have to tell her when enough's enough. And it's part of our safety feature too, right? It only runs for a certain period of time. Right. And then it tells you, hey, maybe give your dog a break. And the other thing that you said that I really loved there was you started to talk about novel enrichment, right? So if you do the same thing the same way every single day, it's going to get boring. I mean, we would get bored, and dogs are the same like we are. They'll get, if you go out and throw the ball, they love chasing the ball, but at some point that mental part is lacking a little bit because they haven't had anything new or novel. So even just a change of scenery, taking the ball somewhere else or a different part of the yard, or like you said, maybe going out and going for a walk with others, that in and of itself, like if you take your dog on the same walk every day and then you just happen to reverse the pattern, if you just go backwards the regular route, you'll notice a difference in your dog because they've had a different experience.
Correct.
And I really appreciate that you have hopped on today to talk to us about enrichment. I've been following you now for a while, you and Nala. I love your videos. I don't want to take up too much of your time today, but before we go and before we sign off, I do want to talk about the giveaway. So Swift Paws, I love that you have Swift Paws and that you use it as a part of what you and Nala do for enrichment. And I wholly believe that Swift Paws isn't a singular answer. It's not to replace any other part of enrichment for your dog. It is a tool. It's another toy that you can add into your dog's enrichment. And I love that.
And you don't need a lot of space. A lot of misconception is you need a lot of space. You can have a little corner of your yard, no matter the size of it, and put the course in play, and your dog is going to get benefit from it.
Exactly. I mean, it might not be full on sprinting, but they're going to be trying to cut it off. And there's so many ways that dogs play with it. And so we want to celebrate Pet Wellness Month. Thank you so much for hosting the giveaway. So we are giving away not Swift Paws Home Original, but we recently launched Home Plus, which actually allows you to make bigger courses, run faster speeds, and the battery lasts a longer duration for every battery charge. And so we are, for the first time ever, giving away Home Plus for this giveaway. So you've got a link, right? How people can enter. There's a few different ways that people can enter.
It should be in your description of this live stream. But yes,
Yes.
and I want to emphasize it's 100% free giveaway, no strings attached. But what we like to see you do, when you enter the giveaway, it gives you an option to create a video for 1,000 entries, 1,000 points. We like to see you create a video, whether you post it on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and tell us why your dog would benefit from Swift Paws. Make it like a 15, 40-second video, 15-second to 45-second video. And when you create your video, there's an option where you can upload the link and the giveaway, and we're able to review those videos.
Awesome. And I love watching dogs playing too. So if you want to send a video of what your dog does right now and what they love, maybe chasing the tennis ball, right? And then tell us, okay, my dog loves the ball, and tell us why you think that they would love Swift Paws. We would love to see those videos. So Kelly and Nala, thank you so much for joining us. We did have one question. I'm trying to watch the comments, you guys. We did have one question, and it says that somebody asked if there are specific breeds of dogs that different kinds of enrichment would be especially beneficial. And, we talked about Nala being a German Shepherd, and German Shepherds are a herding breed. So, if you have a breed of dog that has a specific trait or specific working trait. So herding dogs, they obviously love to chase and herd and watch and guard. Then you have dogs that have maybe much better sensory, olfactory. So their nose is just going crazy. Maybe you have a beagle, or you have a basset hound, or you have a bloodhound, right? They're going to love
a Chihuahua that has a sensory.
Or a Chihuahua. Exactly.
He smells everything. Open a can of Pringles on the other side of the house, he's running to the other side of the house.
And he's right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what it is. Regardless of what breed your dog is, every dog is an individual too. So if you find that your dog likes one thing over another, figure out ways to give them enrichment that way. So, everybody who tuned in with us today, and we're going to share this video, on YouTube and on our other channels as well, because I think the topic of enrichment is super important. Kelly and Nala, I really appreciate you joining us. Enter the giveaway. We can't wait to give away a Swift Paws Home Plus. Nala says she's taken her midday nap. So is Piper. I don't think Piper has moved. Maybe now she's got a leg sticking out, but the dogs are napping, and that means that we've done our job well, right? Like my happiest moment is after Piper has played, and when she's just so satisfied, her tongue's hanging out or she's laying down. That's perfect for me.
Well, I'll end this with this, and not as a sales, but when I do run her on the Swift Paws, typically 2 or 3 times a month, and after the battery dies, and I leave it outside and come back in, and you go back out, Nala's barking at the machine, wanting to run the course again.
She's like, keep it going.
Keep it going.
Oh my gosh, that is great. Somebody just asked, let me see, I'm trying to watch the comments here. Eileen just said, is it easy to set up? Kelly, I'm obviously Swift Paws is my company. I'm biased. Kelly, is Swift Paws easy to set up?
Couple minutes at the most. The thing is, make sure your battery's charged.
Make sure your battery's charged.
Make sure your battery's charged.
And
yeah, I was just saying, make sure your battery's charged. It takes literally minutes, because you can design the course, even with the basic system, you can design the course any way you want, as long as you want, as short as you want. I typically do it. If you've seen the videos I have on YouTube or on TikTok, I typically give her a good run. But I always change the design of the course, so it's never so she doesn't learn a consistent pattern. But literally a couple minutes out of the box.
Yeah. And, maybe the first time you'll have to read through the instructions and figure out how to do it. Once you've set it up 1 or 2 times, it's pretty easy. And then what I love is that people get creative. So they'll set up a really basic course, and then you start to see people doing zigzags and going around things. So there's no end of fun. So yes. So everybody join the giveaway if you can. Be sure to follow Kelly and Nala. They are Dog and His Boomer across most of the social channels. They've got a great YouTube following as well. They put out really, really cool videos that just encompass everything: playing, working, questions, education. I love the content that you put out. That is also in the description, so be sure to follow them. And I'll also, we are streaming on Facebook. We do have a Facebook community group for Swift Paws. It is a completely public and open group, and we love talking about things even outside of Swift. So talk about enrichment, talk about the other things that you do with your dog. Come join our community, and we just love seeing and sharing pictures, videos, all sorts of stuff. It's all dogs all the time. But yeah, I mean, Kelly, anything else before we sign off for the day?
Just be active with your dog. Don't be that person that sits on the couch and your dog looks at you for enrichment when you just want to sit there and stuff your face. Get out and be active with your dogs.
That's it. They give us those puppy dog eyes and we have to listen. So no words are better. Go out, get active with your pups. Kelly, thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you for having me.